interrupt you for just a moment. We've got breaking news coming out of California. Apparently, this decision has been overturned by a federal court. Decision has been overturned is the preliminary information that I'm getting. I'm going to my computer now. I'm being told frantically by my producers it should be there. In the meantime, let's go to Dan Simon. He's outside the courthouse. Dan, do some reporting for us.
Well, Rick, I'm told by a CNN producer who's upstairs in the clerk's office here at the Federal District Courthouse that Proposition 8 has been found to be unconstitutional, meaning that Proposition 8 is effectively overturned. What that means in the short term, we don't really know. We don't know if that means that suddenly same-sex couples can resume getting married in the state of California. We still need to look at the documents to figure out how it immediately affects same-sex couples here in the state of California. But this is a huge victory for same-sex marriage supporters, a huge victory for everyone who wanted to see Proposition 8 overturned. As we've been reporting from the very beginning, this is just one stop in a very long legal highway, if you will. Ultimately, this is going to be appealed. But in the meantime, this is exactly what same-sex supporters wanted. They wanted to get a victory here in Federal District Court, and apparently they got one, according to our producer, who is looking at the documents right now on the 18th floor of the courthouse. He's going to run those documents down, and we hope to read them for you on the air.
As a matter of fact, here's what I'm hearing. While you were doing that report, I was just hearing from my producer, Andreas, who told me that it's not on the web as we expected, that the information is in document form, and they gave it to some of the producers that we have inside the building behind where Dan is right now. A lot of reaction is going to be coming in on this. Let me just set this up for you guys at home, okay? It's a very, very important decision that has just been reached that will likely have repercussions throughout the United States and may be going all the way past this court, possibly to as far as the Supreme Court. Why? Because this thing has been long in coming. The last part of this, the last step in this process prior to today was when 52% of the people living in California, that doesn't mean all of the people in California, as many of you have reminded me on Twitter, but 52% in this referendum decided that same-sex marriage was not legal, that it should only be between a man and a woman. Since then, it's been challenged again and again, and it finally got to this federal level with this court. And now this judge has come back and said, sorry, you can't make a decision that seems to disallow this type of marriage. Folks are saying, and I'm hearing you on Twitter, thousands of you, including people like Ellen DeGeneres, saying, look, this is about equality. That's what this is. This is about equality. You'll hear that argument again and again. Some folks on the other side are saying, no, we are against this proposition. It's been called Prop 8. You've been hearing a lot about it. Let me go back to Dan Simon. Let me ask my producers while we're doing that if we can hook up once again. Let's see if we can get Gloria Borger back on. Let's see if we can get Kendall Coffey back on. Gloria Borger's back with us as well. Gloria, if you're there, just your preliminary reaction to this decision.
Right. Well, when I see that the judge ruled that Prop 8 is unconstitutional under both the due process and equal protection clauses, that is exactly what Ted Olson and David Boies wanted to hear, because they argued this specifically on the grounds that Proposition 8 violated the Equal Protection Clause in the way that segregation violated civil rights, in the same way that laws against interracial marriage violated civil rights. So I would say that this is exactly what they want to hear, and that, of course, this will be appealed to the Ninth Circuit. But I think you'd have to say that this is a large victory for Ted Olson and David Boies.
Ted Rollins is standing by now. He's in Los Angeles. He's going to be monitoring some of the reaction that's going to likely pour out into the streets throughout the course of the next several hours. I imagine that there are going to be some people there who are going to be celebrating tonight, Ted.
Absolutely, Rick, and it's funny the way this is, just now starting to trickle because of CNN's reporting. We sort of announced it, but people have been monitoring their Blackberries throughout West Hollywood here. We're at the Abbey, which is an institution, a gay bar that's been around for about 20 years, and people here are just starting to get the word. Your initial reaction, we were talking earlier about this whole thing, and now that it's come down, what do you think?
I think it's excellent. It's an overruling of an overruling. It's back to where the law should be. I think it's a gay issue, and I know everyone in the world, everyone in this country can vote, but I think it's a gay issue, and I think that heterosexual people should defer to the homosexual population and say, what do you guys want to do? And that's what we want to do. So.
All right. Well, I don't know that that will ever happen, but everybody will have a vote. These folks that just found out the news as well. You're from San Francisco. Your thoughts?
I think it's great. The more we can do to get marriage recognized legally, equality, the more we can do for equality on a legal level, on a federal level, is great. So as this goes forward, I hope it just gets better.
A lot of same-sex couples, obviously, in this area of Los Angeles, Rick, and so there's a lot of interest in this area. Your thoughts? A lot of people have been talking a lot of people were very pessimistic, Rick, before we got to this decision. But, boy, at this time, it looks like the federal courts at least agree with the idea of same-sex marriage, or at least agree that it should not be banned by the state of California.
Right. No, it's huge. I'm super excited. It's a step in the right direction. Like, we just need to keep moving forward with it. I mean, it shouldn't even really be an issue, and the fact that we have to have these conversations are sad, but this is really great news.
Right. Initial reaction, Rick, it's a bit tempered, as we talked about before. Everybody's well aware of the fact that this is the first step in a long process, likely going to the Supreme Court, but you can bet there'll be a lot of celebrating here in this area, at least tonight. So as the word travels, and there. Yeah.
Ted, just wonder, where are you? I mean, I don't mean specifically block by block, but what part of L.A. are you in that would garner that kind of...
We're in West Hollywood.
West Hollywood, okay.
West Hollywood, yeah, and specifically we're at the Abbey, which is their slogan is 20 years and still raising the gay bar. So this is an institution here in West Hollywood.
So where would the
obviously a lot of opinions on one side?
No, we get that, and that's why let's just be real transparent about it. Where are the 52% who voted against what this judge has ruled today? I imagine they're just you know the state, you cover it every day. Are they just in different parts? Is it more of a suburban opinion? How is this usually broken down?
Well, it's historically the right is more in Orange County in Southern California, and then throughout the state, California, if you drive 100 miles either way, you're going to be in a vastly different area, and the pockets, I mean, you could walk a few streets away from here and a few miles and head towards Beverly Hills, and you may have a little bit different opinion. It is really 52% to 48 was the vote on Prop 8. Latest polls show it's closer to almost 50-50, maybe even leaning towards same-sex. So it's a very divisive and very close issue here. A lot of people are going to be pleased here. A lot of other people are going to be very bitter and disappointed by this decision as well, and are at this moment as this news travels.
Interesting. Good stuff there, Ted. Way to hustle and get some reaction to this here for us on Rick's List. Okay, so the decision is essentially the overturning of this referendum that had been passed in California.